Good morning and welcome to the Dumpster Fire 3.2 here on AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. I'm Josh. Today is June 13th, 2023, and this is truly a historic day for those of us here in Colorado after 47 years. The Denver Nuggets have been around a little bit longer than that. But after 47 years in the NBA, last night they did what many said they would never do. Your 2023 NBA champions, Denver Nuggets. Your boy, Nikola Jokic, the real MVP of the league. We're not talking about that Joel Embiid nonsense. Finals MVP. The entire team had to go to hell and back last night because the Heat did not go down without a fight. Literally, not until the last 10 seconds of the game. Also, my pal Janice here, have him as a special guest on this extraordinary day, a day that we never thought we would ever see. And not only are we NBA champions, we won the title here at home in Ball Arena. It was absolutely mind-blowing to me. Keep in mind, I've been to Ball Arena for many events, a bunch of concerts, and 2 Nuggets games in the past. I never thought I'd see the day that the Nuggets would win a title. I always wanted it to happen, but it was just kind of like a pipe dream almost. And it's happened. We are NBA champions. We did it. Nikola Jokic, arguably, now the argument's much more solidified because a lot of people would try to say that. They'd be like, oh yeah, he's a back-to-back MVP, but he's never won a title. He has now.
Yep.
We did it. So, Janice, I got to ask, what'd you think of that absolute madness last night?
It was an emotional roller coaster like the whole time. Because the first half I was frustrated. Then after the third quarter, I got a little pumped because, and then throughout the whole fourth quarter, I was just back and forth. I was not even sitting down the whole last quarter.
I want to say the last quarter, I was pretty nervous because the Heat are typically a team that's known for winning the fourth quarter. So I was like, oh no. I was nervous. I was like, oh no, are we going to game 6? Are we not doing this? Are we not winning this at home?
I was getting Game 2 flashbacks.
Oh, yeah, no, Game 2, we don't talk about Game 2. Game 2, how do I say this? Game 2 was, everybody was playing 2K and all the controllers disconnected. That was Game 2.
Nah, bro, the Monstars took our talent.
Oh, no, but we got it back. We got it back on that one. But it was absolutely an insane moment. And we will have more to come about the game after this. We just got to let some other music play through here on the Dumpster Fire, part of AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. Up next, we got Bad Guy by Billie Eilish. And welcome back to the Dumpster Fire 3.2 here on AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. I'm Josh, still here with Janice.
Yep, I'm still here.
We all still here. We're all still celebrating. Some of us maybe a little too hard than others. So I was telling Janice this little story right when the game ended. I let out just like an absolutely feral scream. I did the same thing when we swept the Lakers, but this time it was even louder. And then I did it twice because a friend of mine sent me a voicemail right after the game ended. Just, let's go! So me, being me, I had to return that. I had to throw my own 2 cents in there and, just hooted and hollered a few more times. And then since I work from home doing credit card calls, it was the most hilarious thing. I'm letting out all these screams, hooting and hollering. I have the game on my TV in my room where I'm working. And not even 5 seconds later, I get a call. I get a call, and no joke, like my voice already sounds horrid by this point. Like, I can feel my throat hurting, and I'm just like, oh no. And then literally my voice goes like this. Thank you for calling customer care. My name is Josh. Before we get started, can I get you to verify the last 4 digits of your card? Like, it literally sounded like that. it was bad. I was like, oh no. And the lady on the line, bless her soul, at least she was this sweet old lady. She was just like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm sorry. Just a big moment just now, and I think I'm not going to have a voice tomorrow. And she's like, well, and we handled the call. We took care of business. She was like, well, make sure you get some rest. I'm like, I'm going to try.
Funny part, too, is I actually was debating on calling you when they won.
Yeah. Oh, no. If you would have called, I probably wouldn't have answered the phone. I just would have been like, text me, bro. But,
that's why I just texted you instead.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. And then, obviously, celebrated in my own ways. And, yeah, no, I didn't go to bed until after midnight because I watched the whole thing afterwards when they presented the trophy, all the post-game interviews, all the coverage that, because 7 News was showing the game. All of the coverage of people downtown Denver going absolutely bonkers nuts.
Yeah, I saw some of it, but I went to bed around like 10:30-ish.
Dude, I didn't even get off work until 10. So, no, it was absolute pandemonium, and it feels so surreal to me. Like, seeing these neighborhoods in Denver, and I'm like, I've been there. Like, seeing the Ball Arena hosting the NBA Finals, I'm like, bro, I've been in here. So it's like this crazy, like, weird feeling. And actually, I'm going to pull up a picture because I managed to get one. Well, I got several, I should say. But I'm trying to pull it up here, y'all. I'm running on very little sleep. Okay, don't judge me.
Sleep responsibly, people.
I try. Do I succeed half the time? No.
Okay, A for effort.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show Janice this picture here because it was like a screen grab from my TV. It's the parking lot outside of Ball Arena, which is right next to Elitch's, and then obviously they put the graphics up that says NBA Champions on there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, it feels so weird for me because anytime I go to a concert or anything at Ball Arena, I park in that parking lot.
Oh, cool.
I have had many, many fun memories with my buddies in that parking lot.
Yeah, I've never been to Ball Arena. I've been to the Budweiser event
Ooh,
center, though.
no, Ball Arena's something else. But and then Elitch's, I mean, I've been there a few times as well. And like that whole neighborhood walking around, because you walk a couple blocks and there's the 16th Street Mall. Walk a little further, there's Union Station, there's Coors Field. It's like this whole thing. And I'm like, I know this entire area, but to see this area get that kind of exposure for the NBA Finals is like mind-blowing to me. I mean, sure, we've had that for the Stanley Cup Finals or even when the Broncos have been in the playoffs and we have the championship games here. But it was different this time because it was the Nuggets. It was just that thing that we all wanted to happen, but we never thought it would happen. And it's very rare that you get to be part of history. Obviously, like, if the Broncos win another Super Bowl, it's happened. Yeah. If the Avs win another Stanley Cup, it's happened.
Yeah.
It's very rare to be part of, like, a first. I mean, last time I guess you could say we had a first was back, 07, 08, when the Rapids won the MLS Cup, like, decades ago. But now that all that's left in terms of, like, the professional sports teams, it's like, all right, Rockies, you're on the clock.
They got to step it up.
Gotta get to the World Series. I mean, we were there in 07, almost 20 years ago, and we got swept by the Red Sox.
Let's not talk about that.
That was not fun.
Red Sox fans could talk about it, but Rocky fans don't talk about that.
Oh yeah, no, we don't. That hurt to watch. And I remember because that was like the first big like postseason baseball thing that we ever had out here. So that was just cool. But like that whole Rocktober run when we had obviously like the NL Division Series and then the NL Championship Series, and that was like that year. I'm not gonna lie, that was a whole lot of fun. I think it was one of the final games of the NLCS. I think it might have been game 3 or 4. My cousin was having her quinceañera that very same night. But it was hilarious because we did it at the Evans Community Complex.
Uh-huh.
And how do I say this? The crowd was about 50-50. Like there was one half obviously there for the party, get the valses, get everything.
Yeah.
The rest Oops. The rest of us, we were all inside in front of one of the big TVs that they had like in one of like the common areas out there just watching the game. And then we're losing our minds because the Rockies won, and everybody like on the inside where the party was in the ballroom, they were like, "What is going on?" And then we're like, "Oh, the Rockies won," and it was just such a cool time. Oh man. However, if the rain keeps up like this, we might have the rainiest parade ever.
Yeah.
I mean, last year when the Avalanche won, we did have some rain, but it's not like this rain. Like, this rain just needs to go away.
The rain hasn't been letting up.
No, I went to the gym this morning, and it was just barely like a light drizzle, almost like misting. So I was like, oh, it's not too bad. When I left, it calmed down a little bit, but literally like half an hour after I got home, it was pouring. And I'm like, it's gotta stop.
Yeah, like an hour after I got to Ames, it started pouring. I'm like, thank God I'm inside.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm like, I've had it with the rain. Like, I get it. We need the moisture, and I don't like the fires. Also, good luck to all of y'all on the East Coast dealing with all that smoke from Canada, because that is brutal.
Yeah.
But let us go ahead and get a quick check here of your weather, and I think we might end up cutting this episode a little bit short because I am losing my voice. And I really don't think any of my audience wants to listen to me lose my voice live on air.
That would be tragic.
That would be tragic, and not in a good way. Like, I'm all for the funny bit. But there are some funny bits that I'm like, no. Like, how do I say this? Chasing a monorail after thinking, oh, I can get this energy drink lickety split. That's one thing.
Man, I still wish I got that on footage.
Yeah.
The security team was probably laughing at you, though.
Oh, yeah, no, probably. Whoever manages the security team in that monorail station, they were like, this kid.
They're like, rewind.
Yeah, they're like, rewind. And then, okay, so we are going to go ahead and get a quick check of your weather here. There's a reason the show is called The Dumpster Fire, folks. Currently in Fort Lupton, we're looking at 55 degrees, a high of 64, a low of 47, rain and wind gusts of up to 2 miles per hour. Currently in Loveland, we are looking at 53 degrees, a high of 66, a low of 49, rain, go figure, and no wind. Currently in Windsor, we're looking at 55 degrees, a high of 66, a low of 47, rain, no wind. And here on the home campus of Greeley, we are looking at 54 degrees, a high of 65, a low of 47, rain showers and wind gusts of up to 3 miles per hour.
Oof.
Yes, but one last thing here before we go. I was going to say, Janice, we've had a lot of game reveals and trailers this past week. Like, a lot.
And I've been watching a lot of them.
I watched the PlayStation one. I missed the first part of the Xbox one, but then when they started all the Starfield stuff, I watched, and I'm like, I'm cautious. I didn't think they were actually going to announce a release date because they said that the game still needed a bunch of work, but then when they put that date at the end, I was like, oh.
I would say, because I'm a hardcore PlayStation fan,
Yeah.
that is the biggest threat to PlayStation users is Starfield.
Starfield?
Because PlayStation does not have an exclusive game like that.
We don't, but also you got to realize, I mean, PlayStation has such a solid first-party lineup. Like, sure, we may not have Starfield, but we have everything else.
Yeah.
You know, with the exception of, like, Halo or Forza.
I mean, the only way that Starfield will flop is if it's untested like Redfall.
Oh, Lord. No, but apparently, because they were saying in the presentation that they have literally every single QA that Bethesda has are all, looking basically like with a fine-tooth comb through all of Starfield.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, this game has been developing for so long that they got to get it right. I mean, and this year has been kind of a year for disastrous launches. So,
yeah,
looking at you, Redfall.
Oh, I was looking at Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, Redfall was still worse, I feel.
True.
Like, Jedi Survivor, like, we kind of knew because Fallen Order, when it first launched, had its share of hiccups, too. So, how do I say this? That was just kind of to be expected. And it's going to be interesting just to see what happens there. Obviously, we got Final Fantasy 16 coming. I got that demo. I need to play the demo, first of all.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like Capcom dropped the ball with their showcase.
I totally forgot that Capcom did a showcase. Like, I saw something about it on my Twitter, and they were like, wait, why did Capcom do a showcase? And I'm like, they did a showcase?
You didn't miss much.
I didn't? Okay.
They basically just announced everything we already knew.
Oh, okay. I just knew, I watched a little bit of the Ubisoft thing. I watched the trailer for that Avatar game, and I'm like,
Ubisoft
Okay.
did pretty good. They announced a new crew game called.
Oh, a new crew game?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's called Motorfest, and it's gonna be set in Hawaii,
Okay.
which is gonna be nice. Street racing in Hawaii. They showed stuff for X Defiant.
Oh, yeah, I
the
did see
new
that.
upcoming first-person shooter.
I did see the gameplay for that new Prince of Persia game, which is like, good lord, it's been a long time since we've had a Prince of Persia game, and it sounds like, because they were doing a remake of the Sands of Time, and then sounds like it's kind of dead in the water,
Talk about that.
which I wanted a remake of Sands of Time
But
just
when
because it's such a cool
when
game.
they revealed it, it looks horrific.
Yeah, I know, and I think we're supposed to get still, unless it got delayed, which I hope, or canceled, which I hope not, we were supposed to get a remake of Splinter Cell, too.
They didn't talk about it at their conference thing, but I know a couple months ago they did give some word that the project has been revived
Yeah.
and they're doing stuff again on it.
Because I remember they even released screenshots like comparing like the original game to the remake, kind of like what they did with the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, that they took like screen grabs from the original game and then they compared them to the remake, which looks like it's going to be cool.
I'm personally not gonna get it because I've played Snake Eater so many times.
Yeah, but this is going to be a new experience.
Still Snake Eater.
Yeah,
I
it's
want
still-
them to remake either 1 or 2 though.
I mean, the closest we're getting right now is just the remasters of the original 3 that are finally going to make their way on a PlayStation later this year, which I can't wait because
Speaking of which, did you notice it said Part 1 when they advertised that?
Volume 1, yeah. So the
Yeah.
big rumor is that we're finally going to get to be able to play 4 on a modern console, because with the original 3, at least you can play them some way, shape, or form. Like the original one, you can still get on PC. Like if you go on GOG, you can get the original. 2 and 3 are on Xbox. You can just buy them there. They have the HD remasters of 2 and 3, so those are at least playable. And then obviously 5 was released on like everything.
Unfortunately.
But 4 was the one that's just been like stuck in PlayStation 3 hell.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're finally getting it out of there, because really the only way to play it really is either like they had it on PS Now for a while, although the connection issues were eek.
We don't talk about PlayStation now.
Yeah, and then either that, or if you had an original copy on a PS3, and a lot of PS3s are starting to kind of go kaput.
And my PS3 is still kicking though.
Mine's still kicking, but it has to be factory reset every once in a while, and it's kind of a pain.
Ooh.
Yeah, like, I don't know what in the world happened to it, but it'll do good for a while, and then it's just like, no!
Speaking of Solid 4, I saw on the PlayStation Instagram a couple days ago that it was the official anniversary of Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah, so I hope that they figured out a way to get it onto a modern console.
Which would be nice, because Solid 4 is a good game.
4 is good. It's bonkers in, like, a really Kojima way.
Yeah, 4, I hold one of my greatest video game achievements ever. I beat the game in 6 hours.
Oh,
no
Lord.
kills, no alerts, and no deaths.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I didn't do it on the hardest difficulty, though.
So-
I'm not that crazy.
So, thing with me, obviously I love the Metal Gear games, but I stink at playing them.
Dude, the game is based around stealth. You're telling me you suck at stealth?
Yeah. Like, straight up. Like, no joke. Like, in 5, or even, like, on Ground Zeroes, like, once you get into the prison, like, my first tendency is, like, the second I get caught, I'm just like, okay, these shooting mechanics are actually not that bad. Spray!
Actually, funny
And then
enough,
it works for a while, but then it's like, oh, they're calling in more reinforcements, and it's like, oh, wait, that fool has a helicopter. Oh, great.
in,
now I'm out of luck.
Ground Zeroes, when I was actually leaving the prison, as soon as I got spotted, I just bolted the whole way and they didn't hit me.
Oh yeah, no. My thing in Ground Zeroes, and even in 5 as well, and I know that's not how the game is meant to be played. It's just like the second I discovered, it's like the Danny DeVito meme. It's like, so anyway, I started blasting. Yep. That's just how it is. Although I love the games. I know we're supposed to get a Hideo Kojima documentary.
Ooh, interesting.
Also, I think it's produced by PlayStation, I think. Which actually kind of makes sense, because obviously Kojima and PlayStation, like, those two go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to mention anything about what happened when he left Konami. You
If
know,
they
or they
do,
might just
I want to know the details because we unfortunately, with that falling out, we lost a good game. That was going to come out. Rest in
Yes.
peace, Silent Hills.
I don't know why, and I hope I'm not perpetuating any sort of like conspiracy theories or anything. Part of me thinks that there was a good chunk of work done on the game, and it's just on some server somewhere.
The game was 80% finished when it got canceled. But at least the franchise is coming back with the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yes, which I can't wait for because I know I'm going to play the snot out of that.
Yeah, my dad has the whole collection. He just has to dig it out.
There you go.
He does not have Silent Hill 1 on disc, and we are currently looking for the disc of Silent Hill 2. We have it somewhere in my house.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll find it.
All right. All righty, y'all. Well, that is... Whoa! No one heard that.
I did.
No, you didn't. That is it for today's episode of the Dumpster Fire 3.2. As you can tell, I took my voice right up until the very end. But we do thank you all so much for listening. Go out there and celebrate. Stay dry. If you are going to go to the parade... Wow. If you are going to go to the parade on Thursday, stay safe. Drive safe. It's going to be packed. You're going to be there a long time. Drink plenty of water. Wear comfortable shoes. Because it's going to be tough, especially if it's raining. Oh, Lord, that's going to be a soggy time. But that about does it here for the Dumpster Fire. You were all warned, and we're going to kick it back to the music here on AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be.